What's the deal, gang? What's up? What's up, everybody? For all the newcomers, it's Sunday, so you could unlock your cams, unlock your mics if you want.
What up, Vic?
What up, Ziggy? So our daily close bearish respected resistance that we spoke about on Thursday and Friday. The 4 hour here closed with no top wick, and now we're coming down. The hourly is going to close bear or just close bearish with some range to fill. All right. So we've got a level here. And we got a level of interest down here, but what do we typically do, right? Gold creates support or resistance and then fills the range, and I believe we're gonna fill this range down, especially with the 4 hour no top wick, right, to close out the previous day. Oh, we just had a 30 here with no top wick. Let's see if we could get a decent top wick. Let's see if we could tap maybe 20, 36, just a little bit more. Honestly, it's not looking too bad here. Off the rip, it's not looking too bad, but I'm not taking it if it comes up there. I think I want to see a re-break of the highs and then a re-break of the lows. Maybe we can see what it looks like on the 15 here. What do we respect? Huh. This wouldn't be too bad. Every time we close below here, we look to the left. Right? We get this closure below this area. Oh, whoops. That wick. That's where the wicks come up to. Yeah, if we tap that area, I'll have a sell stop on the break of the low here. Okay.
Oh, now. Little spike up. Nice.
I can't have a wick entry here because we're not below the level. We're not below support, really. Kind of above support, but I think we can take a sell into it on a smaller time frame support, but on the hourly, it should just be pretty clean to come down here. Don't have a sell stop yet, but as soon as we come up here to 2037.2, I'm gonna start looking for. Give me 1 second, Jay. Okay, let's see if this can happen on this 15. This actually is not bad. It's not bad for a top wick, but I'd want it to start coming down now. I don't want a 15 closure above there. I want this to start coming down, breaking its own low, breaking the 30 and the hourly low now. because we've come up pretty quickly, right? First 8 minutes of this hourly, we've come up here. I'm going to take a sell on the break of the lows once this hourly breaks its own low. Okay, chat. Sell stop is... $2035.015 for now. Here. Or wherever it is on your broker for you on the break of this hourly low. We want this to happen now. We don't want this to be the next candle. We want this last 420 of this 15-minute candle to start coming down heavy. See, I see a level here, right? We see the support here, but I think with momentum, I mean, even by the time we tap it, how much do we have from our entry? Roughly 9 pips from entry. Yeah, I think with momentum we should drive down, but we'll see if it happens here on this candle or we continue up. Eventually, we'll have to come down. Grab some orders if we're to break 2041. If we're to break above 2041, we'll need to come back down. At the very least, we break the hourly lows, right? Previous hourly. Oh shoot, my bad. A lot of people at the Zoom door. Stops will probably be, once we break this, we'll probably be here. 75 pips. A little bit more. There's a small level above there that 2044. But in reality, I'm just not gonna set them on my broker. I'm gonna manage everything manually. Chat, what we're gonna do here, there's 1 minute left in this 15. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna, oh, we're coming down heavy. No, I'm not. I won't have time to do that. Oh. Never mind, chat, I'm already in. It just wicked me into a position, so I'm already in here. Hold on, let me adjust it. Hold on, baby. Come here. Love you. Yo, tell me I've been muted this whole time.
Yeah, you have been.
Chat, I'm. Well, okay, so I got activated. We had sell stops, and that's freaking crazy that I've been muted. I closed out the sell stops. I was just explaining what's going on here with the 15 closure and why I had a sell stop. It activated me. I closed half a pip in profit, and it. Yo, that's. I'm sorry, gang. That's crazy. Wow. No, so what happened was I got in on the break of the low, and once this closed with no bottom wick, I'm explaining that at any moment this candle can flip bullish after creating a bottom wick, right? And we're gonna wait for the 30 to either leave a bottom wick or see if the support holds. That's all I did. So I got in and out of the trade probably within a minute. When BE, no, I just closed at half a pip in profit. Break even. I closed it BE.
Yeah, I got activated way earlier. Accidentally put in a limit instead of a stop.
Oh, got in on the wick.
So yeah, so I actually made 10 pips.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
I think this is gonna be a hard support here.
I'm just kind of happy I closed once we got that indication on the 15 closure. Right, because now this can leave a bottom wick on the 30. The hourly looks up, right? If the 30 is able to hold bearish and leave a bottom wick, the previous hourly's bearish, yeah. If it doesn't drive now, right? But with that previous 15 closure. Wow, that's crazy how I was fucking muted this whole time.
Oh, you
I'm over
muted
here.
as soon as you started adjusting like the entry on TradingView.
That's so funny. I need this light to be brighter. All right, hold on. So yeah, we're gonna wait this 30 through. We're gonna wait for this 30 to close. That was a trade on stream, so let me adjust that. That was break even number 41. Still an entry. What a read there with that 15. I fucking love doing what I do. So, damn, we filled up quickly. How's everybody doing here? It's Sunday.
Resting.
You guys can open up your mics and cams if you want. Resting.
Yeah, busy weekend.
I had an eventful weekend with a lousy end to it. To be honest with you. It's been a lousy Sunday.
Yeah, for me, I celebrated my birthday, ate some good food,
Oh, happy birthday.
used my
Congrats.
profits to pay for everything. Life's good.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Spee. Happy birthday to you. Everybody.
Happy birthday.
How old are you now? I'm muted with my
The funny
dog.
thing, I'm like literally Don's age, like a few months earlier.
Yeah. Some youngins. I literally just described this. I said if the 5 closes bullish, then the next 5 comes up. We literally just drew this out. And this 30 turns into this candle. Oh, so happy. You know what day I'm having? I'm having one of those days where it's not like a bad day. It's just everyone I'm speaking to today or associating with or dialing up or like just any communication with everyone today has been difficult. Let me get rid of these cells. It's just, I've spoken to some customer service people, it's been difficult. I've spoken to people at the bank and I needed like 3 different supervisors, 2 managers. I've spoken to a utility company and they needed to do a corporate escalation. I've spoken to my next door neighbor and like, not the cook, but the one across the street, and that was a difficult conversation. And like it's been that kind. And then my kids, the wife, everybody, it's literally been like conversation all around. It's been difficult communicating with everybody today.
Time to do a silent stream then.
Yeah, that's why I said to myself like 4 hours ago, I'm done. I'm not talking to nobody. And then like Chinese food just arrived like 5 minutes before the stream. And I'm like, I gotta get to the stream, and he's like having this like conversation with me, and then he's like having a hard time getting the receipt, and I'm like, yo, let me just like fuck the receipt. I'm just gonna tip you like this, and like he's like, I don't know, like, oh, he saying some shit like he couldn't take cash, like he had to like take like the machine or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. It was a weird conversation. I couldn't understand him because he was speaking like half Mandarin, half like Spanish, and I'm like, how does this even work? How do you know Spanish and Chinese and Mandarin, right? And we're having a difficult time conversating in English.
I don't think I've ever seen a Chinese person speak Spanish.
It's wild. Literally wild, because there's so many like Hispanics, right, and Latinos in Florida. It's just they've adapted. Everyone's adapted. Like you'll see like Koreans speak Spanish and shit. It's like it's wild shit.
Oh yeah, that was my experience in LA. Like a third of people were Spanish and a third were Koreans that also speak Spanish.
In California, they're all running right from Mexico, or they're all coming across the border from Mexico. And then over here in Florida, they're all coming from Cuba. Right, we're 90 miles from Cuba. And yeah. Yo, hold on, are we breaking the lows? Oh, we got 2 minutes here for this 30 to end. Let's see what happens. No, go to a corner shop in any major city from Baltimore, New York. Then no, it's not Spanish. Corner shops are always Habibi. No, it's true. Like honestly, like 90% of corner stores I think in New York are held by probably Pakistanis or Indians. And you have your Chinatown, you know, the Mexican side of town. You have the Russian side of town over there in Brighton Beach. 100% of the stores on Brighton Beach are Russian, you know what I mean?
Definitely a culture shock though, to see like a bunch of other cultures and races. Like here in Lithuania, like 99% of people are just white, and the only other races or cultures are tourists.
When I came to America, my elementary school had a big, I'll never forget this. Welcome to PS, I think it was 253. Welcome to PS 253. 186 nations go to school here. And you literally walk in and it was everybody. Every single country in the world represented. Like, there were people from Yemen, from Pakistan, from Iraq, from fucking China, You know, we had Korean students, we had all Eastern European, French, we had Italian students, a lot of Italian. Brooklyn is a melting pot, yeah. So the 30 flipped bullish. Sorry, you want to say what were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say, like, makes sense that the whole world is gonna slowly become like a melting pot, not just the US.
Well, the places with the freedoms, or you know, more or less democratic governments, will become like that because that's where people run to.
Yeah.
That's where the whole
I mean,
world runs to.
Uber drivers are now 90% of them are named Mohammed.
Where? No, we have a bunch of, most of the Uber drivers are here are just Americans, right? So,
No, I mean in Lithuania, like that's the only other ethnicity of people we have are just a bunch
but I think
of
that's like
people
cultural
from
thing because
Kazakhstan.
it's appropriation. I mean appropriation. It's like there's no assimilation, right? Like people show up, and there's a constant flow of immigration from a certain place, right? And then somebody's found a niche, and then as that flow continues, they follow them into that successful niche, whatever they see what, and then that's how it goes because it's really, you know, it's really has to do with assimilation. They stick to their own thing. They found success in one thing. You know, people from their country come over and they're like, all right, we stick together. We stick to this thing, and it happens with all cultures.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, a bunch of them are here illegally, and just like they come here to work for like 3 months as an Uber driver, and then they sell their passport and their like license to be an Uber driver to their friends that fly in, and they just keep passing the same identity to other people. So like you see a picture of your driver on the Uber app, and then
like, damn,
a completely different guy
completely
comes
different
over.
dude. That license has been with like 6 different people. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all dealt different cards, right? Just it's up to us to survive, right? Everybody's trying to look out for themselves. They're, like, when they're doing that, they're not thinking, shit, this probably sucks for the other residents here. Nah, it's like, I gotta fucking feed my family. You know what I mean? So, but there's got to be like rule of law, otherwise, like, just a complete free for all, right? Complete shit show. Was this? This was the opening of the market. Yeah, that first candle wasn't bad here. When the market opened at 6, too bad that's the opening of the market. Cause like any other day, we probably take this to 4-hour closing with no top wick. Next 4 hours flipping. This was right off the rip once the market opened today. There's no way we trade there.
I took it.
You took that right off as the market opened?
I took the wicket like 40.8, but
yeah, no, my entry of theory would have been
just
39.7 right on the flip. 39.75. That was the 4-hour flipping after the previous 4-hour close, no top wick. But like, I just would never trade at 6 p.m., especially on a Sunday. Like, market just opened for the week, first hour of the week. I've learned my lesson. But you got to go through those lessons to learn them.
Yeah, no, I usually, like, if I see a good opening, I just enter like a way smaller position. Just to set up like a daily runner in case it's
I know somebody that does that, yeah. And then they scale in if it turns out to be a good position, yeah. I know a few people whose strategies are based on it, but then the thing is their risk management is way different than what mine would be, right? So, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like it would be a completely different strategy.
Yeah, like usually if it ends up being like a good runner, I just keep scaling in like on every key level, and then I just move stops to the previous position, and it's like the most I'm ever risking is the same amount as the first position, but the size keeps increasing. So.
Well, look what's going on here. We got a 4-hour closure in 25 minutes back in range. Nothing's stopping us from breaking that high and continuing up initially, but we will need to come down then and break the lows. Right, we'll need to come back and tap a support. So I think 2035 17 at the very least. All right, it's too soon to speak. We gotta see how the 15 and the 30 close there. But it'd be very interesting if this 4-hour can close like this. Please do New York session. No, that's done. I'm trading. I trade in New York.
Someone needs to make a course on how to tell if Wix is in a trade during NY session. The eye positioning, which screen he's looking at.
I'm probably sitting and looking like this. Like I'm looking at my terminal when I do this. Well, I'm looking at a few things. When I do this, I could be looking at one of three things: the terminal, the Zoom itself, like the actual app, or Discord. Like this, I'm looking at the actual YouTube stream, and like this, I'm looking at what I'm streaming to you guys. Wix signal channel. You know what? I thought about that, and I think it's doable. Now that I can probably ask Don or some, or hit him up and be like, "Yo, give me that." No, he sent it to me. He sent me the service, right? It's an indicator. It's just the EA, I think. And he sent it to me where I could just hook it up to my MT5, and then every trade I take, it'll pop up. it'll pop up right on right in the Discord, right? So you guys will see it. If I take an entry, right away it'll show up, and then if I have a sell stop, buy stop, you'll see it, and then whatever my stop. But the thing is, I have the generic one, right? Don did a lot of adjustments to it where it's very simple. It's very small. It's got like just buy here, TP, that's it, like, right? Because it comes with a lot of unnecessary language. So I gotta tell him, hey, do that for me. And even then, like I don't know. I'm cool if I don't.
Do you still use TradingView if you're not streaming?
If I don't stream,
like to no, I mean, like, do you draw out everything on TradingView, or do you just go off the
Not
MT5?
Really. No, I don't go off the MT5. I look at MT4 because it's clear and I can actually do all of this and play around and see, like, right? But I'm not gonna sit there and like do all this, right?
Yeah.
Make it visible and then create that mid-level. Like I might have a line for indication where do we, if I need a closure's coming up, and I can more understand, see what's going on. So like, let's say we want a closure below here on the 4-hour, I'll put a line over there, right? And this is what my chart will probably look like. But I know why this line is there and what I'm looking for, right? Overall, like, I don't need all the other things because there's just visuals for stream to be able to explain what I'm looking for.
Like, is it wrong not to use TradingView like whatsoever?
I used to use only MT5, and my logic was that if I'm, why wouldn't I chart on the actual platform that I'm trading on, right? Why would I chart on something else? Like if I want the most specific, precise thing. And then I started streaming. And for streaming purposes, this is just so much more user friendly and very intuitive, right? So it's very neat to display ideas. Very convenient. So I was doing all the breakdowns on this, and eventually over time I completely stopped doing breakdowns into, and then over time I just, like, whenever I see stuff here, I just click buy or sell on the broker.
Yeah, for me it's like, I don't know, it feels slow and delayed on trading. Yeah, I don't know.
Slow and delayed?
Like it's, I don't know, maybe it's the new Blueberry update that they did, but like they now have like 200 FPS charts or something like that. Like during New York
Trading view is
session,
a little lagged. It's a little lagged by like a second.
yeah, like the MT5 of Blueberry now is going crazy like during New York sessions. I've never seen it.
Let's say for
smooth.
stuff like this, let's say we were looking for a break of the low here, right? I'm not gonna take that position, right? If I don't have a sell stop, for example, when I go to a sell stop, I'll set it based on the candle that's in my MT5, not on the price here, right? Obviously, it's two different brokers. Also, if we're looking for the break of the lows, and I see the candle coming down here, I'll go look at my MT5, and that's what I'll look for, right? I'll wait for that flip on the actual broker, and when it happens, that's where I enter. But like overall, in general, like when I see what I see here, that's what I'm basing the whole breakdown. It's just like I'll look over there, see if the candle broke, and then I'll take that. Trading view, can a times bottleneck has been fixed with running a 10G port with Cat 8 cable. Yeah, I don't know much about that. This isn't the real fucking sport, man. Are they showing this on ESPN? This is terrible. They got pickleball. Get the fuck out of here. Pickleball? That's just not a real sport. Yo, they took down the basketball courts over here by me and built a whole bunch of pickleball courts. It fucking blows my mind.
Pickleball, wait, isn't that the one?
Pickleball. It's like tennis, but with a wooden racket and like a smaller, and there's like no running. They just like, I swear it's a senior citizen activity, right? Like it's senior living activity. Like it's like in a nursing home, they should have like a pickleball court because they can't fucking play real tennis, right?
It's ping pong with a bigger table.
It's ping pong on a tennis court. That's what it is. So they took down the basketball courts in the park. It's a massive park, and they built a shitload of pickleball courts. And then you know what happens? Now you can't park next to the park because it's full. It's like 2 nursing homes at a time get shipped in there. It's like it's assisted living facilities just dropping off their seniors there because they're all into fucking pickleball. And all the kids are left and it's like all these little seniors, like all these like little, 80, 90-year-olds at the park, and all the kids are left standing around the park in a baseball field. Like, who the fuck's gonna play baseball, right? Like, people will play baseball, but it's 100 degrees outside. They want to be in the shade, where the courts are. And it's not even that. Like not everybody can show up with a baseball bat, a glove, and and baseball is not as popular as like basketball. And so I see it all the time. I take my kids to the park there, and I see people show up who are used to there being basketball courts, and they show up with basketballs, and then they're like, what happened? And then they leave.
I gotta capitalize on it, set up a camp to provide a bit of shades and set up a bingo area in the camp, for all the seniors.
Open up a senior day camp and just fucking pickleball all day. All right, 15 closed, bullish. Can't take buys because this could be a 30 flip down. The previous 30 closed below resistance. And we can't take sells because the 15 is closed above here, and this could just be a bottom wick to come up. So we have to wait. It's not about the competitiveness. It's so fun with friends. To what? Not move? They stand in one spot. Like, you want a real sport? Go play tennis. X9, stay hating. It's not a real sport, Hank. Tell him, baby. They made that shit up. It had to be somebody in a wheelchair coming up with this shit, or somebody in a walker. It's like, yo, I need a sport here where I ain't gotta run across this damn court, but I could still swing at the ball with a racket. What's up, beautiful?
They should have placed a bunch of those, I don't know what they're called, the ones where you hit the ball with a racket, but it's like tied to a rope.
Oh, yeah, no, that would knock some teeth out. They would. Oh, came right back. You want mommy? Where's mom? Other room? Hold on. Kid wanted mommy.
Yo, Wix.
What's up, man? What's going
What's
on?
up, bro? What's up, everybody? Yo,
What's
question,
up?
bro. This is just for fun. Why does it say pound yen and XAU on your for Asia session?
It's better for my search engine optimization.
Clickbait.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
So when I take it out, I got this thing called TubeBuddy, right? And it tells me all the analytics. It tells me my channel views, subscribers, videos, suggested. It tells me my YouTube search engine score, search engine optimization score. And I've messed around with it. Like I've done different bunch of like type of language in my. If you look at my description, like for the stream, it's not a lot of things. Like it's not even grammatically correct. Right? Like it says on this stream, I will educate you on how to scalp Forex, how to like, it's not really, right? It's not really like proper language. Like I would, like if I was talking, I would say it differently and show the way, but like this language, the way I've set it up, it seems to raise the search engine optimization score. And if I get rid of the GJ, it brings it down to 90. But if I leave GJ in there, it goes to 95. So I don't know, it's just better for search engine optimization.
Yeah. I figured that's what it was.
But in reality, like we had a lot of people. We used to trade GJ like before, like way before you. Like we used to trade GJ and gold, and eventually we got rid of it. But I kept the GJ in the title, and I don't know. A lot of people that used to trade it with us have kind of switched over, and a lot of people that do trade it show up, and actually over time just tend to switch over to gold. It's trying to hit keyword searches. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's weird because there's other words I could replace. You know, like if look how GJ is spelled, right? GBP JPY, but with a space in between it. Like if I don't put a space in between those, like it drops the SEO by 10 points. Like it's. So like I didn't do it. I didn't set it up. Somebody helped me set it up and said like this would be the most optimal way, and that's how they explained it to me.
Yeah, it's like selling something on Facebook Marketplace, right? Like at the bottom it says keywords and you type in a bunch of shit just to like hope to get an extra hit, you know?
Yeah, except it's not like a bunch of shit because it's actually like we spent like
it makes sense.
A good weekend. We spent like the entire Saturday and Sunday trying to figure out the proper language that would brace this, like hours and hours on the phone and. Just
do you have your Instagram with like hashtags to like boost your feed also?
The guy that does my reels, he does that. Yeah, like there's hashtags and. Like viral, reels, shorts, hashtag short, hashtag reels, hashtag trader, like that kind of.
Yeah.
But there's only a certain amount. Like on Instagram, it's unlimited, right? But there's only a certain amount of that you could put on YouTube. So.
I think IG has a cap also. I think it's I want to say it's 30.
I don't know.
There's a cap.
I was never even close. I don't know what it would be because I put like 6 or 7 in there. How I found.
Do you ever think of doing?
Originally, people in finance now working from home pull up to YouTube, look at charts while eating and such. Oh yeah. A lot of people find it like that. It's not even like you could be trading US30 or you could be looking at stocks, right? But as long as it's the markets, a lot of people will just watch something live. It's about the markets. What were you saying?
I was saying, like, do you think of doing what like Don used to do when he phased out GJ, like where he would do a gold analysis and would focus on gold, but would also like, if there's time in between, like.
No, I don't want to trade.
I know. No, like just I mean not trading, but like doing like a quick analysis for the people who came because of the GJ title.
No.
No.
No, if I'm not gonna trade it, like I think the analysis would be a waste, and also like I could say whatever. and it could sound smart unless we're actually seeing it through and watch the analysis play out. Like it's like calling trades. Oh, I called this position. Remember we used to do that, trades taken, trades called. Like we'd call a trade and like 10 trades would play out, and then like oh, we called that. Yeah, but where's the profits? Like, so it's like, yeah, we did the analysis, and then what was the point? Like if you're not gonna take profits on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I just thought, because I remember like seeing a bunch of people like almost a year ago that came in because of GJ, and they used to just wait for the NY session just to see the analysis, and would just keep on chatting mainly in the Discord.
Yeah,
because they weren't like trading gold, but they were still sticking because of the GG analysis.
I mean, it really does nothing for me, and I really do love trading gold. Like this is what I enjoy doing. So, like, I don't know. I think
makes sense.
I think it would be a useless endeavor, and for our purposes, to go to GJ, because then like, why not just do EU, and why not do breakdown other pairs, and turn this into another one of those streams that show up and just break down a whole bunch of pairs, and like, you know, bye-bye. Like there's plenty of people doing that. Like they'll show up, they'll break down 5 or 10 pairs, and they'll have a bunch of questions, and they won't really trade, right? They won't really put their name behind the trade, and that's the stream.
I guess with time you start sticking to whatever you want to be locked in the most, and just, I think Janez at the start was also like doing analysis on like a bunch of pairs, but then slowly stuck to only GJ and gold.
No, I'm good with only gold, but like Don wants to go back to doing GJ, and like I'm not gonna trade it. Like if they're taking trades on GJ, like I won't be doing so. I'll be sticking to gold. If anything, eventually I want to get into some crypto as well. I want like once regulation comes in, right? Regulation is coming. Like next few years are gonna open up opportunities for some decent crypto trading. So it's still too parabolic. Price is still too sensitive and easily impacted, right? Like Elon Musk can tweet and the shit will drop, you know, fucking $2,000 and or $15,000, $20,000, and it's, you know, right, go off a single tweet, and you could shove your technical analysis up your ass at that point. Like it's irrelevant. So when it's like
Luna did.
When it doesn't, like, the thing is, when it doesn't have a store of value, I mean, I'm sorry, it does have a store of value, but it's not a good store of value, right? It's too parabolic, too unpredictable. Which is also one of the things, like, you know, Bitcoin set out to do, was set out to be a store of value, right? But like I said, if somebody can tweet and it can lose half its value, it's not a great store of value.
Yeah, I mean, like with what happened with Luna coin, where like it dropped 99.999%. Like it went from $100 to 0.6 zeros in a 2 at the end, just because they decentralized or joined with something. I don't remember the exact details, but like overnight it just tanked to 0.
Luna killed the whole market. What about Doge coin?
I mean, Doge was created as a meme. Like it was made so that its price would always be dropping. The only reason it stayed in the market is because of Elon.
Crypto's crazy. All right, we got 30 seconds here for this 4-hour close. It looks like we're not gonna close below there, so the 4 hour is still in a range. The 1 hour is back up above here. This will be really tough if this 1 hour also closes with no top wick. little bit. One hour at a resistance, 4 hour within a range. A 4 hour close below this resistance, right? If we can get a steep top wick, and when I say steep, no, alright, let's see how this plays out here. I mean, we don't really have a top wick on the hourly, but when I say steep top wick, I'd wanna come up and retest highs here. Maybe even break the previous highs. If we could do that here on this 4 hour, which would be, we have a lot of time, right? The 4 hour just open, could be anytime in the next 4 hours. Break the highs here and then flip. I think it's a solid move down on the 4 hour. But we're gonna have to establish a resistance on a smaller time frame, right? We're gonna have to see some bearish closures on a smaller time frame and see how they can, and see if they can align with the hourly on the 4 hour. And with the hourly, the flip aligns just fine. The hourly doesn't have much of a top wick. It has, but it's very tiny. Tells me not much range, right? So if we can come up, tap the highs here and flip, it might tap here. It might tap 39.9 and just flip. 39.8 flip. But I don't think that's going to be enough for me. Luna equals Ponzi. Oh. Hold on a second, chat. My kids are here. Oh my God, again? Wow. I've just went through so much that like I don't even know. All right, all right. So I was replying to buys are looking stronger. Buys are looking stronger if you're looking at the hourly, but then look at the 4-hour, right? The 4 hours closed bearish and the daily is bearish, right? So if we can come up here, tap the 30 highs, right? And what do we say? Well, I've spoken about this before, right? If we can tap a strong resistance and wick off of it, right? That happens a lot. That's why I want a strong resistance to be tapped here. I'm not looking for the middle of the range support resistance areas because I want to be convinced that we're not just going to tap and flip, but we're also tap, flip, and drive down. So a lot of times you'll see the higher time from the stronger resistance, like I said, will be tapped and rejected. But if we're able to tap, right, this area and then reject and flip here after the 4-hour, right? Knowing the 4-hour is bearish, after the 4-hour close bearish, and we have range to go down to fill the range down. Knowing that the hourly, previous hourly closed with not much of a top wick, right? No range up. We should be pretty confident that, hey, we just tapped also a strong resistance on the 30 and the hourly. Now we're flipping and we're driving down with all the time frames aligning, right? We're going to come down to the bottom of the range. But the only way for you to have the confidence that it is going to flip and drive, not just flip, find support, and then continue back up, is it's going to have to reject off this higher time frame resistance. And until it does so, right, it's not that like, oh, we're going to miss the move now, it's going to reject here and come down. That's fine. You miss a whole bunch of these moves throughout your charts, right? It taps a level and comes down. But for you to be, you know, comfortable in a trade and confident that it's going your way, you'd want it to tap off a higher time frame resistance to see that rejection, right? Because otherwise you're just still heading there. You're like, the hourly close bullish, you're going to form a small wick here, creating range above the previous hourly. Now if this hourly closes either doji or weak bullish or weak bearish, the next hourly can just find a support here, right? Or next 30 can just find a support here at this area, right? And then now that you have a top wick on a smaller time frame, you have range to fill. So the next candle can just come down, tap support here, right? And flip back up, and that's what you're looking at. And now you have a seller replay going the wrong way, going the other way, going up. So but if it does that off of here, the likelihood of this holding support drops, right? And the likelihood of you filling the range gets much higher. So play the probability game. Damn, I literally just went through all of this and saw that I was muted. I tried to repeat word for word as best as I could what I just said. Good explanation. Love it. All right. This level is kind of irrelevant right now. All right, this was what we needed for the 4-hour. Like when things like this happen, the goal is not to lose your shit before your position sets up. Not to lose your funds before your position sets up, right? Because what happens when you're starting out, you start trading in these little ranges. You take little losses, right? And all of a sudden you're down like 15, 20 pips and finally your position sets up 3 hours later. And then you take your 15 pips and then you close out and you're like, fuck, I just break even after this whole night. And you didn't have to take the positions in here. You could have sat out, waited, and then when it finally sets up your 10-15, boom, now you're 20 pips ahead. And that's all you need. You don't need to
fucking facts, bro.
you don't need to
get
trade
paper
within
cuts
this
to
range. You set yourself behind, right? I've been through it. That's how I know it's facts. We've all been through it. We've all done it, or we all do it.
Get
I've
paper
said-
cut to death.
Yeah, you take a whole bunch of paper cuts, all of a sudden you're fucking bleeding out, and like you finally get what you need, and it's all it does is just catches you back up instead of putting you ahead. And then you're like, how the fuck? I took everyone. I'm taking the profitable. Yeah, but you're also, you're death by 1,000 paper cuts. Sweetie, turn it down a little bit, please. You look tired. You look tired. Yeah, you are. You waiting for me? I love you. She don't want to go. Yeah, look at her. She's just chilling. It's bedtime. She's just... Most people enter at the pivot, not at the bottom or top of the range. You mean like somewhere in the middle of the range where the smaller time frame support and resistances, smaller time frame levels? You can, but you have to understand where you are based on that higher time frame rejection, right? And the higher time frame rejection was here, the last one. So until we break that high, I'm technically, right, with like, we're more likely, probability says we're more likely to come down than come up. Overall for the market. But then, since we play the range game, right? We can adjust and make informed decisions based on that. Wow, so you see that hourly didn't really drive. It's created a top wick. That's a really strong supporter. It's also the reason, right? We'll see a lot less trades here than in New York, but then oh, Ziggy's out. Good night, Ziggy. Yeah, but then we also realize, right, that that we don't want to approach New York with with smaller funds. We're going to take the same positions as we see in the New York session. It's just the chances of them occurring are less likely in Asian session than New York. But don't lose your shit in Asian just to start catching up in New York. Yeah, that's the goal. We have to improve our odds. I agree, RC. We gotta use whatever edge we can to improve the odds, improve the probability, or be in a trade that has a better probability of winning. Bless you. $15 closed. 15 closed, and look, the previous hourly's bullish, right? And it created a top wick now. So now you can basically disregard the fact that the previous hourly doesn't have a top wick because this 15 has now printed that top wick. Be interesting if we can flip bullish here. A 15 flip bullish flips your 30 hourly. And we have some range to go up. What's the range? And you have 10 pips to fill the wick. Let's see, because this is strong resistance as well. Weekly closed bullish, right? The previous week.
Yes.
So we might see a couple of days of bearish momentum for a bottom wick and then a drive up to fill the weekly wick.
Yeah, because I think last week we didn't even have a bottom wick either.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I might take a swing position here. Not tonight. I'm saying if sometime this week, if at like Monday or Tuesday, we're breaking the lows of the previous weekly candle, because the previous weekly candle closed above the support here, right? If we break that candle, well, let me see. Is that the monthly? Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That gets a little tough because now you have the monthly driving down. I might take, if we break the previous weekly low, I might just take off the flip here. 44 to roughly 80, 90, like 500 pips, not bad. Maybe a little more, 650 pips. If this breaks the previous weekly low, let's say Monday, Tuesday we break the low, and Wednesday we come up and flip, I might just take a separate weekly position for the swing. Looking to come up. You got over 1,000 pips of range to come up for the previous, all-time highs. But we would have to break the last week's low and then flip bullish. I was thinking about taking the wick, but the wick down here, that's the monthly re-breaking the low, and it could just be the drive down on the monthly. Hey, what was that? You gotta say excuse me. Get away from me, Stinky. Yeah? Fart in my face. You wild for that. So that prefers method with you implement before you enter by using your system, not looking at it like most people who enter at the pivot point don't recognize a coin flip. It's always a 50-50 split, yes. Think oil will drive gold in the next couple of months? Well, you really need to then lock into into CAD. I mean, into the Canadian economy, which is, it drives a lot of the oil. What are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do here? It's gonna be a really interesting week. What do we have going on?
Well, we only got data tomorrow and Thursday.
Yeah, nothing.
And then we got a
else.
bunch of Fed speakers spread out.
Speakers is the worst because like they can say some dumb shit. Market moves. Thursday.
Powell talked today at 7 on 60 Minutes. It's on YouTube already. I'm gonna watch it in a little bit. But my buddy told me that basically he came out like super like a
firing.
hard. Yeah. You watched it?
No, I didn't watch it. I was waiting for the Chinese guy, and I had a whole bunch of shit going on. The kids and. But
yeah, he came out firing for sure.
it's gonna be an interesting week, just based on where we are in the markets, and I think with where the Fed is, and with very little news this week. I mean, we got some data tomorrow. Get catalyst. It'll be. We're just gonna go basically off of last week's volume, I think. I also think we have to come down. fundamentally prices need to come down a bit. What a hawkish Fed. I'm still skeptical here, chat. I like this can still end up being a bottom wick for this 4 hour because I know the overall, right? We did close below the overall, but there's a most recent level here that we respected. I'm sorry, right there. Right? So that gives me doubts with taking buys on the break of the highs here now, unless we close above. And for sells, there's too many levels here, and we still need a strong hourly bearish closure, and we're gonna need it to close below support, and we're gonna need it to close, especially below the most recent support, below 2035.75 right here. And then when it does that, we're gonna need a top wick on the next candle. Although not too steep. We're not gonna, if we close below 2035.7, we're not gonna need too steep of a top wick. I don't like these levels, so we're gonna bring it down.
I kind of wanted to touch that. I got 2029. Kind of wanted to touch down there before running up.
Oh yeah, well that's the idea for me. I think we're gonna have to tap the lows if we're gonna break 2041. Right? I think we might correct some of this part of this move, but not before we tap 2041. Not before we tap 2030. And the way we came up here and already today and tapped 2042, I think we can have a massive drop at 2030. I mean, it'll obviously make a decision at 30 if it comes down there, but if it does come down there, I think we are more likely to continue the drop down. Like, with all of these drops, you didn't see much of a retest, right? Every time you came down here, I mean, you saw a small retest here, maybe a candle later. You didn't really see price then come back to this area, right? You didn't see it drive up. Only in this case, drove up and it didn't get all the way down there. But when we tap this area and we come up here, right, we tend to drive up, and if we came up here and rejected, we don't often reject there. If we reject it, then once we come back down here, I don't think this is what we're doing. I think we're gonna drive through here. We've never tapped and then retested. Every time we tap, it just to drive up, tap, drive up.
Right.
So I think we tap and we drive down here off 32. I think we're driving down. But that's just basic things that we can see with our own eyes, right? We see if we zoom out, right? Like when in doubt, zoom out, right? And we see what the market does. But we need to be pretty specific when it comes to entries. Let's see how this 30 closes. Can we close below? Alright, did we close below? Yes. No, we didn't close below. Don't really have much of a bottom look either, but We got some wick there, but we didn't really close below here. Maybe a 5-minute candle can do that. Yeah, some last minute volume here on the 30. Respect it. Lack of data means market will drive from global news. Yeah, it'll drive off of news events happening around the world. I heard summer gas in US will be average $4 USD. I mean, wait till Papa Trump's back in office and I'm paying 90 cents. I promise you, within the first year of Trump in office, like last time, gas was at like $1.50, and then within a half a year of him being out of office, $5.
What was it, $1.50, bro? I don't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, I used to pay. We used to have $1 get. Hold on, let's search it up. Gas. It was $1 something. Gas in Florida under Trump. All right, so under Trump, gas in Florida averaged 186. This shit's $4 right now with a pump next to me. Four motherfucking. Imagine paying $1.50 instead of $50 to fill your shit up. Like a motorcycle, you could probably fill up under Trump for like $6-7 full tank. Probably
Dude,
need
I
like
think
25.
I did drive my motorcycle during Trump, and I think it was like $5.
For the full tank. Full tank, right?
Yeah.
Right now on a full tank, it's like $22. Like that's unheard of for a bike. You shouldn't be paying anywhere next to $20. Fill up a bike, unless you got like a a Harley or something like. But like my 1000RR, my full tank was like $9, not even 10. China now buys Iranian oil at discount, undercuts Saudis, so they cut production. Well, we can get even cheaper gas. All we got to do is unlock federal land, which is what Trump did. The reason gas was so low in the US, we have the highest reserve of energy from anywhere in the world. No matter what oil fields you guys have everywhere, like whatever, Middle East, whatever, like the biggest reserve is in the United States. The United States has the biggest reserve in the entire world. I mean, the reserve, not that we already have it, just the land, the untapped land where we can open up drilling. We just haven't done so. We did it under Trump, and that's when what happened was, right, like the Saudis couldn't control us anymore because we forced them to bring prices down. We were like, look, you don't bring prices down, we're going to open up more land, drill more. So they because Trump opened up drilling and fracking on federal land where it was reserved. Like you couldn't purchase the land. Then he opened up that land for purchase. Private companies started purchasing it and then started drilling and fracking and getting oil. And then what happened? Biden came in and closed down all purchases of federal land for oil. And what we did was the Saudis tried to manipulate the oil, right? They said, we're going to raise the prices. So we opened up the fields and now we're not buying from them. Now they had to lower the prices. And Trump said, "Low, you're going to lower it to this number or we're going to continue drilling." And then when they did, then we stopped and we continued to get it from them, because at some point there's an even line where it makes more sense to buy than to get your own. And then it makes more sense to get your own than to buy. And that price point, the Trump administration figured it out. And they said, this is what that price point is. And we need you to be under it. And that's how gas prices stayed low, because he was willing to open up federal land to drill. And Biden is not. He closed everything down. Anti-oil. He's on a lot of the donor money comes from the natural gas companies for Democrats. So that's why they do that. Keep thinking Don is in here because I got like a thumbnail of Don open. Like I got a YouTube on the right over here, and there's a thumbnail of Don's stream. And I keep thinking he's over because he's like in a little box looking. Stop looking at me. This is a good flavor. Like if this shit was a cake, I would eat it. Like, wouldn't you eat black currant mint cake? Black currant mint? Fun fact, currently a great arbitrage. How does arbitrage work? I see everybody talking about it. I don't know how that works. I don't know how arbitrage works. I got friends that make, like, not friends. I got acquaintances. Like, they're not friends where I could hit them up and be like, yo, how are you making money? But, like, acquaintances, like, friends of friends that do that. And I never really cared enough, like, to see how it works. Like, they make great money. EU needs gas, okay. Their storage levels high. What, for the EU? Yeah, the EU has high storage levels for gas while the pipelines are still open, okay. While the countries that gas flows through still let it flow through there. No, if this is, can we look at it like this? No, we can't. So you buy a current spot price and hold till supply's down, demand high, and then sell for profit. So it's basically trading. It's basically the reason, like, they can buy and sell, right? And not just invest in the price going up. About to arbitrage the shit out of gold. Yeah, like, we might come down here, right? This might, just, this level here sucks. But, like, technical analysis here tells me we need to come down more if we're going to end up coming up. Speculative trading. So yeah, they do what we do. I will say though, you got to be probably really good, like really, like, this is a lot of practice, a lot of years doing that to be profitable. You got to really be involved and absorbed and saturated in the industry and know what's going on. Really be ahead of things. Can't kind of half-ass your way through that, right? Same thing here. Yeah, the reason I say it's possible we come down here because, like I said, the 4-hour closed below the overall, not most recent. That's why I figured we'd see some play here and maybe a 5-minute closure below and then a drive, but created the wick here on the 15, right? Created the wick on the hourly. Okay, so let's see if we get a closure below here on the 30. Oh, I'm sorry, 30 on the 15, on the 45, right? On the at the 45-minute mark. And then we'll look for some position. Yeah, this is where I'm gonna look for a closure below. In trading Bitcoin, yeah, I know people have done that. I didn't know that was called arbitrage, right? Because you could see the price difference, the massive price difference in between two exchanges, right? And you could play that difference. That's right. Yeah, this flip. I just can't. We can't take that sell here with that closure right at support. Team closing below here or right at it? Okay. we're able to break the previous 5 high, I think it's not a bad idea to have sell stops. I do it here, right? To 15. Almost got there. Yeah, it'd be like then, if it starts breaking the lows, I might manually execute. I think we have some range to fill here. Right, how much is this wick? Oh, really? That's it? Your advantage point is the 14 pips, the wick fill. Chat. This is so small. Yeah, but we rejected right off it. I'm gonna take a sell right here. The thing is, the momentum should take us down. It's a small range, right? It's about 8 pips, but I think the momentum should take us down. Took a sell right as we reflipped. If it doesn't, then it'll end up ranging and playing around, and eventually have to come up and grab some orders. But I think with the rejection we just had on the 30 and the hourly and the 4 hour, I think we should have come down here with some momentum. Just makes okay, here, just coming down a bit. As soon as it taps here, honestly, I'm gonna go break even very early because I'm gonna expect to drive down with momentum, but I think at 2034, that's 7 pips. I'm gonna go break even at 7 pips. I'm not gonna close anything, but I'm gonna go break even at 7 pips, expecting momentum to bring us down, but I don't want to wick down to here and then reject. Okay, 2034.5, I'm gonna go break even. This area. Did we tap that? No. 34.8. Almost. See, we have enough momentum to get us there. All right. Ooh, came down a bit. I'm break even here, chat. I'm going break even, but I'm not closing anything. Not yet. All right, there we go. I just closed my first position, so a half closure, right? Why is this so little? This is a discrepancy here. It's all right. So I got half of my position closed. I closed it at 9 pips. We're just We're tapping the strong support. I think if we're gonna push through, great. It's gonna be as a runner, but I closed half my position at 9. Likelihood of us breaking down here is really high, right? But I just want to get something for the session. We got something last week for Sunday, and I want to get something right for this session, right? Because we could pull up here, tap our break even, and then continue driving down. But I think the volume overall should bring this position down. Collect something, right? Secure some bacon. Alexa, off. I don't know why that bitch just started talking. Yeah, I closed almost at the tip here. A little less. So I closed how I do things, chat. I typically open 2 positions, right? So 2 5 lots and 1 5 lot I closed at 9 pips, and the other 5 lot is just a runner running here. Oh yeah, let me move this down and break even. Collect some sounds like Alexa. Yeah, she just started talking for no reason. Don't worry about us. Stick to your wrist, man. No, it is. Alexa, shut up. What's going on? Alexa, off. Not in the mood. All right, there's a strong level here, right? So we might come up, but I really wanted to break the lows here. 9 pips might be it. But we got 2 trades in today. I got 2 trades in. A break even and a W. Let's see, maybe the momentum, the 4 hour, the hourly, maybe it could take us down here. I'd really want to see 2033 areas. Ooh. Can we do it? Can we do it? Alright, gang, I'm gonna close full here at 23 pips. 22 pips I closed. I closed full right as we tapped here. Now it might come down, it could, but W. So that's the trade. Oh, hold on. You know, we didn't put the BE in session trades. It sells. Alright, that brings our record to 87. W's. I closed literally at the tip here, the tippiest tip. The tippity. Keep that Sky News live running. I don't know what Sky News is. That's two Sunday sessions in a row, right? Last Sunday we had a nice W. This Sunday, look at that. It tapped that level and it's pulling back. Wow. Good closure. That's a good confirmation that a level is solid, right? Kind of looks like mid-range here for a lot of things, right? But look, we tapped it on the dot. Reading that is experience. That's one of the few things that can't be taught, like identifying that level. I used to be like, yo, that's amazing. How the fuck do people do that? But it doesn't mean it can't break the low, but a strong bounce off of it means it's a solid level, right? And then you can find some closures at that area. Wow. And it doesn't mean it can come down, right? You get a closure here, it might still come up, re-break, tap 2035 and get a top wick and then continue down. But for the sake of our session, I mean, that was it. That was our position. Congrats, guys. Okay, that's what we waited for. That happened in the last 10 minutes of the stream. Right. So you see how the volume switched up. Like I read this thing. I remember when the trades show up, if they show up at 7, 7:30, 8, or 10, 11, right? And I take note of them, right? Because typically when the volume shows up, the next day it'll be around that time. You'll typically see volume start showing up at the same time throughout a cycle, and then as it starts switching up slowly, you'll start slowly seeing trades happen at a different time, but consistently at a different time.
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent, like 10, 10, 30.
Yeah, 10, 10, 30 has been pretty consistent. I agree with that. It's gonna switch up. Like this is only like we're just we're a month into the year. February just started. Like when you get to summertime, like it'll switch up. Volume shows up at a different time. Okay, Q4 volume will switch up again. I mean, welcome to the start of a brand new week. What can I say? I think tomorrow should be very, very interesting. Make sure you show up to the New York session. We have a catalyst, right? We have a red folder tomorrow. Let some data come out. What would you journal as? So rebreak of the lows on the 15, right? The 15 flip, closure below on the 15, but it's not a 15-minute trade because you have to take everything into consideration, right? You had the 5 retest this level. The 50 actually was a 15 closure as well that retested that level, right? It broke up above here. If it stayed bullish, then it's a fake out, but it flipped back bearish, and it also created a small bottom wick first and then came up. The main idea here, right, is with the 4-hour having this whole wick to fill and the 4-hour being bearish, previous 4-hour closing bearish, right, and the hourly not having much of a top wick. I was saying it the entire hour here that there's a chance all those things combined could bring the volume down. And then when I saw the 15 close below and then a top wick and a flip and the 30 had a top wick and the hourly had a top wick, then it was just all about we're gonna get our 7 pips, we're gonna get our 8 pips right to the advantage point. It was all about will there be enough volume to drive us through, and that's what I thought. With all those things aligning, I took the trade to court and I said to myself, all these things aligning, this should give us enough volume to drive through. New York session, I don't even doubt it. New York session, that probably would have been an off the rip. I probably don't wait for a top wick here on the 15. New York session, I probably take that off the rip. But in Asian session, it works a bit different volume wise and the way candles print. So just for an extra bit, I wanted to see it break up above here, attempt to drive up, and fail coming back up above 35.7. There you go, re-break the lows. Should probably see another 20, 30 pips, but you know, we're out with 22. We secured the bacon, and we're winners today. We're part of the 2% of traders in the entire world that came out with a W today, that made some money. The 2%ers. All right, yeah. Make sure you're there tomorrow for downstream, and I'll be back on. You guys already know the deal. We're doing this every single weekday. So tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you guys here live on YouTube. This stream will probably be available once the stream's over. It'll probably be public for everybody. All right, guys. Any last words before we call it a stream? Any questions? Anything? No. All right. Ziggy left early. Yeah, I hope he got that one, but he left early. Hope he was watching.
I still got my runner for the day set up. I added another position and
just now in my trade you added a second position?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You had an earlier entry. So, all right, yo, congrats. That's what I like hearing. I like hearing consistency. I don't like. Oh, I had a massive win, 150, and then I take a bunch of losses. No, just
that was me.
Slow and steady.
With fundeds, like I got one 20k payout, and then I lost the funded literally next week.
And you have to start all over again, and work towards it, right?
Trading on live is way more like comfortable. I don't know.
It's more. It's more
you have
suited
what you
for
make,
long-term
basically.
growth. Live account is more suited for long-term growth. This is a this is a long-term game, right? We're here for a long time. And a good time. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow. That's our stream. Congrats, everybody. And they say the way you start things, the way you spend them. So start the week with a W. Let's spend the rest of it with W's. All right, gang. I'm out. And just like that, another Asian session is in the books. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thanks, Wix.
Yep, got it. Good night.
Yeah.